Arizona has a rich history, especially with sports. Author Scott Hansen has been officiating high school sports for over 30 years, and he started to notice that people didn't know the history of the venues they were playing in. Well, he's changing that with this book, Who is Jim? A collection of stories behind Arizona's high school sports arenas.
Well, Who is Jim is a book about the who and the why. High schools and high school sports facilities in Arizona are named after people. And what happens is somebody has a gym or a stadium or a field or even a school named after him, and as generations progress, people forget why that happened. Those people were such pillars of our community, did something so extraordinary that they had a facility or a school or something named after them. It's very important that we don't forget that. One of my favorite stories is Warren Ballpark down in Bisbee. George Warren was a prospector back in the 1800s, and he discovered the Copper Queen mine. But he died before he was able to get any riches out of that mine. But the folks in Bisbee named the ballpark after him. And George Warren, if you think about the seal of Arizona, George Warren is the prospector that's on the seal of Arizona. George Warren Ballpark down in Bisbee. That's just one example. There's another one that I find to be quite fascinating as well, McClintock High School. You know, growing up here in Arizona, I thought, well, McClintock High School was named because it's on McClintock Drive. But James McClintock was quite a character. He was Arizona's first historian. He was in the first graduating class of what is now Arizona State University. He was one of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, and he led an expedition to the site of what is now Roosevelt Dam. What I found in doing my research is that many of the older schools have such rich and strong histories. Camelback High School is one example. Nadine Sass was the volleyball coach here at Camelback back in the 80s, where her teams were dominant. In the 80s, they won 5 state championships, came in as a runner-up another year, and she had 2 consecutive undefeated seasons as a coach here at Camelback High School. So Nadine Sass, of course, has the gymnasium at Camelback High School named after her. One of my favorites is from Winslow, Arizona. There are 2 facilities in Arizona named after Medal of Honor recipients. And one of them is the Jay Vargas baseball field in Winslow, Arizona. Jay Vargas was a highly, highly decorated Vietnam War hero, Medal of Honor recipient. The baseball field there is Jay Vargas baseball field. But the other Medal of Honor recipient in Arizona is a little more obscure, and it's Chief William Alchesay up on the White River Indian Reservation. William Alchesay has the school and the gym there named after him, and he received a Medal of Honor for his heroic efforts in the American Indian Wars. So stories like that, to me, are really touching, and in hindsight, the reason I wrote the book. This book certainly isn't required reading for everybody, but if you love Arizona and you love Arizona high school sports, it's something that you're going to want to read.